doing?
What are you doing?
I'm at home.
Do you know what season it is?
Season? Friday Night Duels.
Buddy, let's go. Come on, boy. Rock, this is film session. Tell me what's happening. Go.
So Virginia Tech is on top.
Okay.
Bringing NC State down. He's holding on. He got a leg in, and then there's a reversal right there. There's a...
No! Reversal, 2! Reversal, 2! That's not how Rock reacts.
Gotcha, Coach. Gotcha.
Rock, you have to be really ready. What happens if there's a commercial break and you have to use the bathroom? You gotta be fast, man. I mean, really fast. You ready? We're gonna time this.
Fast,
okay?
fast.
Fast, really fast. Okay. All right? You ready for this?
Yes.
Go! Come on, you can do it. You can do it. Come on. Come on. Almost there. Commercial break. Rock, I think you're ready.
Friday Night Duels. I'm ready. Are you?
I am ready.
We're ready.
Oh, let's do it. Let's go to Blacksburg, Virginia. Rock Harrison, front row, best seat in the house. Rock, first of all, always great seeing you. And I'll tell you what, we brag about it all the time. Friday Night Duels on ACC Network, always great. But how about this matchup? A pair of top teners, NC State, Virginia Tech, right out of the gate. Hard to get better than this.
Look, first of all, thank you all for having us on. We love the fact that the ACC just supports wrestling. You all love us, and hopefully tonight it'll be drama personified because we have the top 2 teams in the conference, NC State, Virginia Tech. They're trying to break the record for the most people here at Cassell. I'm telling you, you have up and down the lineup, All-Americans, veterans, and some young guys that will put some flavor into this match. Everybody wants to shine. The lights on us, the national TV is going to be here. I'm telling you, this is the match that the nation is watching, not just the ACC.
All right, the 149-pound matchup is one that you have circled, and I know a lot of people who are wrestling fans have circled in this one. Caleb Henson, Virginia Tech, Jackson Arrington from NC State, 2 freshmen. Why is this one that people need to key in on?
2 true freshmen, not just freshmen, true freshmen who are blue chippers. Jackson Arrington wrestles for NC State, and he's from the state of Pennsylvania. They're very good at mat wrestling on the mat, and he's been through the national tournaments. He's gone everywhere, and he stepped right into the lineup. I tell you what, when I was talking to Coach Popolizio at NC State last year, he said, look, I think this guy's going to start for us, and he is not disappointed. Caleb Henson is from the state of Georgia. They're not just good at football, but they're pretty good at wrestling. Caleb Henson says he wakes up dangerous. I'm saying it again. He wakes up dangerous. Who does that? Caleb Henson says, I wake up dangerous. This guy has a motor. He doesn't stop. And I tell you what, it seems like every weekend he's beating an All-American. He beat a national finalist, an All-American. The other week, he is the legit. And I tell you what, these guys go. They're going to go at each other. And I believe this match is a swing match. And not just a swing match, but it could determine the entire duel. These guys are tough.
Now, Rock, this is the 4th year consecutive that these 2 teams are meeting top 10 teams. You know, looking at this as the first match of the season, you know, what are we anticipating right now?
We're anticipating fire. We're fire. We want to burn up the ratings. This is how you start a college season. ACC wrestling is not just basketball. It's not just football. The conference is moving more towards wrestling. I tell you what makes it so good is that these teams, they respect each other, but they want to win, not just for the conference, but also jockeying for the national rankings. This is how you start a conference, to let the country know ACC is wrestling. ACC has animals at every single school. And I tell you what, this is the best way. We could have had it at the end of the year, but why not start it on fire? And I think that this match tonight will be drama personified. I'm looking forward to it.
You know what? We should all wake up dangerous, Rock. I'm going to write that one down and use that the rest of my life. Wake up dangerous. We know about how good these 2 are. So give us just a little thumbnail sketch about the rest of the conference. At least what would we at least think sitting here in the middle of January?
The conference is strong, and what was really impressive about the conference as a whole is the recruiting that they've done. Starting at Pitt Pitt has a strong recruiting class, but they have 3 guys that are returning All-Americans. Nino Bonacorsi, Mickey Philippi, Cole Matthews spent time at number 1, UVA. And Coach Garland, 17 years at UVA, this is his best recruiting class, and he's redshirting most of them. Going down to Duke. Duke has a heavyweight named Jonah Niesenbaum. Jonah Niesenbaum is on the lines of Duke developing their heavyweights. And Duke also has a WWE superstar named Julius Creed, so they know how to develop heavyweights. And then UNC, 3 returning ACC champions, 3 returning All-Americans, Zach Sherman, Clay Lout, and then returning national champion Austin O'Connor. And then tonight, both sides have returning All-Americans. Both sides have veterans. Both guys have young guys. NC State, Virginia Tech, not just one of the top teams in the conference, but one of the top teams in the country. So from top to bottom, the ACC is someone that you want to watch, some guys you want to watch. It's really competitive, and I'm not just being a Harrison hyperbole. It's really good wrestling, and tonight is going to be the start of a great collegiate and conference season.
All right, Rock, we do this a lot with other sports. We do it with football. We do it with basketball. Like, for instance, for basketball, we did before the season, it was Duke, UNC, or the field. Who are you taking? For this, it's NC State, Virginia Tech, or the field this season to win the ACC. Which way do you lean this year heading into these duels?
Oh, my goodness. Virginia Tech, NC State, these are the top teams. The field, not to be disrespectful, they are strong. But from top to bottom, and we have to look at consistency. Consistently, Virginia Tech has performed. Consistently, NC State has performed. So I'm going to go with NC State and Virginia Tech. And again, the other teams, they are solid. But when we look at the season, from 2022 to 2016, it's either been NC State or Virginia Tech. Virginia slid in there in 2015, but these are the top 2 teams over the past decade. So I'm definitely going with NC State and Virginia Tech as a likely team to win the ACC tournament. However, you just never know. You got to wrestle the matches. Injuries can occur, but that's why you need depth to make sure the next person steps up to compete at a high level.
Now, Rock, I want to get right back to this match right here. I mean, we've talked about that 149, but are there any matchups in the rest of these? We're talking 6+, both ranked duels. I mean, what's another weight or matchup that we're looking at that can be explosive?
Well, at 184, NC State has a guy named Trent Hidley. This guy is a monster. He just goes aggressively. He doesn't stop. He's so intense. If my child needs to be reprimanded, I'm going to call Trent Hidley because he just goes animal on people. And I tell you who else is good. Hunter Bolin at 184. He is just that strength that you wonder, why are you so strong? He has grip on him, and he's just one of these physical guys. These 2 have wrestled 5 times. Hunter Bolin has the lead, but each match has been a 1-point match. These guys are top 10 caliber guys, and they're returning All-Americans. That's a match that you want to watch at 184. But at 157, it's going to be a battle of evolution. It's between Ed Scott and perhaps Bryce Andonian. Both guys throw each other. They just go for headlocks. And so when you wrestle one of these guys, you're truly trying to be a part of NASA because you'll be in orbit when you wrestle one of these 2 guys. That's going to be a hot match at 157, Bryce Andonian and Ed Scott.
Bryce Andonian, Rock, hasn't really been healthy this season. He hasn't been part of the full lineup. So is he a go tonight for Virginia Tech? Because that's a big one.
That's a good question. I think he's going to get a shot of adrenaline, and he's going to make it happen. So I think he's going to make it. It will make a big difference in the outcome of the match if Bryce Andonian wrestles. But if he doesn't, next person up. And they have Clayton Ulrey who can step up and compete just on a high level. I'm hoping Bryce Andonian because it's going to be good television. I'm telling you, Ed Scott and Bryce Andonian, they throw people. So if you don't know anything about wrestling, but you like to see feet up in the air, you need to watch 157.
All right, by the way, before we let you go, we saw that 25-second sprint. You still got that in the arsenal when we go to timeouts?
Let me tell you something. I was holding back. You know, if I really wanted to, I'd been a lot faster. You know, I had too many clothes on. If I had my singlet on, I would have dusted it. My 4.4 would have been like 4.2. But nah, I was holding back on it, and my wife told me stop being crazy out there. But nah, if I had a singlet on, I would have killed it. But, you know, I had to put some sweats on. It's kind of cold in Baltimore.
Yeah, well, let me tell you something. If I had a singlet, I'd run a 40 in about 1.6 because I wouldn't want the world to see it. That's why. That's
No,
why, big man.
thank you.
Listen, have fun. I know you're going to have a blast, but man, like you said, what an awesome match to start things off. Friday Night Duels on ACC Network is a staple. You're the man. I always appreciate the insight.
Hey, look, I thank you for the love that you all are giving us. It's going to be great at 7 o'clock. Really appreciate you all. Keep up the good work. Thank you very much.
Here they are, Cassell Coliseum, Blacksburg, Virginia, getting ready for Friday Night Duels right here on ACC Network. NC State, Virginia Tech, both in the top 10.
We are back. It's NC State and Virginia Tech. 10 bouts and one all-out battle.
Comes back with that front headlock, trying to hook up the leg toward the edge, and he gets the 2!
You know what it feels like to be in this pressure.
We got a cradle, it could be, and there's the fall by Trombley.
Holy free may get the roll through. No takedown yet. Do we have it? Do we? Two!
The year might change, even the athletes and their stories, but the path to an ACC title has run through either Raleigh or Blacksburg. And a packed Cassell Coliseum hope it's the latter tonight. It's a top 10 showdown to kick off Friday Night Duels. And a pleasant good evening. Sean Kenny alongside Rock Harrison. What a great way to kick off Friday Night Duels this season. The last time these two teams were in this building, it was a finish for the ages. Could we have an encore tonight?
It was drama personified, and both teams up and down the lineup have veterans, All-Americans, and young guys that are trying to make a difference in this tight series.
Now, there's a lot of familiar names in both corners, but we are keying in on a pair of true freshmen in what we think will be a swing match.
Jackson Arrington started in as a true freshman, doing what they expected, and Caleb Henson wakes up dangerous every day.
The last 18 ACC dual titles have come from one of these two powers. Who will rise tonight in Blacksburg? #16th all-time meeting between these two ACC powers. They are dead even, 5-5 over their last 10 appearances. Pat Popolizio, his 11th season in Raleigh, the three-time ACC Coach of the Year. He wants to get his team back in the national race and a team trophy come March in Tulsa. On the other side, Tony Roby, the two-time ACC Coach of the Year in year number 6, the longtime assistant with Kevin Dresser. He took this program over, and they have not missed a beat. Two-time All-American from his wrestling days at Edinburgh. We start tonight at 125 pounds. Jarrett Trombley for NC State, the redshirt junior. 7-6 this year. Eddie Ventresca, he's just a freshman, a redshirt freshman. Out of Moxbury, New Jersey, he comes in 11-5. So a lot of question marks coming in. Where will we start this duel? Well, the answer is 125. Old school tonight.
Old school, I didn't anticipate it starting up at 25, but tradition isn't bad. Sean, my heart is racing, my feet are tapping. This is what wrestling fans want to see.
NC State enters tonight unbeaten. Both of these teams had a really difficult non-conference portion of the schedule that we'll dive into a little bit later on. And we are underway. Trombley engaging first in the black for NC State. Ventresca, our first look at the redshirt freshman.
Trombley's going to fire from a distance, and he feels that since coming down from 133, he said he feels pretty powerful at 125.
Watch those hands, gentlemen.
Trombley, a two-time NCAA qualifier, but keep in mind that was at 133 pounds back in 2020 and 21. Lost the wrestle-offs last year at 33 with Kai Arini, who we will see a little bit later on. And then what happens in this offseason, Jacob Camacho goes down with a torn ACL, so they asked Trombley to bump back down into the 125 role. Working off the arm, Ventresca trying to get to the corner a minute into this first period.
Trombley is clubbing and looking for an underhook. He's clubbing with the left hand and trying to get an underhook with the right hand. And what Ventresca's doing, he's keeping his shoulder tight and he's trying to get like a little of a go behind. Oh, these guys are moving quickly. It could be adrenaline the first match, but these guys are pretty quick anyway as 25-pounders.
Trombley has been in this battle before with Virginia Tech. This is the first time into the waters. Eddie Ventresca dipping his toe in the water for the first time with this heated rivalry. Redshirt season a year ago, wrestled in 4 tournaments, but he has emerged as the Hokie starter with Sam Latona bumping up to 33 pounds.
And there were some questions earlier this week if we were going to see Cooper Flynn or Eddie Ventresca, and it was a coach's decision that Eddie Ventresca is going to get the call.
Inside a minute to go, first period.
Little go behind, but look at the no control yet.
No control. No control. No control.
Control
No
is
control.
out.
No control.
Ventresca's holding
No
onto the
control.
toe.
No control.
And what Trumbull's trying to do is trying to get his hips around, but Ventresca's doing a good job of being patient and holding onto the foot.
Control. No control.
They're looking for 2. They want 2 yet, but control is felt, and I do believe that there is no control right now. Ventresca's doing a good job of holding onto the foot. Trying to cover the hips, not quite yet. Now Ventresca might want to try to hip in just a little bit. Stalemate. Quick shot, quick defense. Ventresca got a good job of holding onto the foot right there. Bang, right in. And looks like Ventresca was going to get around, but went to a good situation where they both got in.
Angel Rivera, our referee, along with Mike Burns tonight. Short time wrestling here in this first period. Trombley with the offensive opportunity late. Ventresca able to dodge a bullet, and we're scoreless after the first period.
It takes just a little bit to get those nerves out. A good flurry like that gets you free. And here the ACC wrestlers that are ranked: Eddie Ventresca, Jack Wagner, and Jared Trombley.
I'm talking.
Keep in mind, NC State is hoping to get Jacob Camacho back here in the next couple of weeks. And what a boost that would be, the 2-time ACC champion and 3-time NCAA qualifier. Trombley in the spotlight, though, tonight.
On the whistle, gentlemen.
Angel Rivera getting the 2 wrestlers into position, and the second period is underway. Ventresca tried a quick stand up, gets up to his feet. Let's see if Trombley can deliver the mat return. Does not look like he will be able to. And a quick point for Virginia Tech.
That was kind of to be expected. Trombley is what's known as a good top wrestler. He's solid, but it wasn't anticipated he was going to ride him out for the period.
Ventresca won a New Jersey state championship that was at 120 pounds, wrestled for Pope John High School. Talked about his red shirt last year, and this season at 9-5, one of 3 ranked wrestlers in this conference. And I go back to the match with Malik Heinzelman of Ohio State. He wrestled well, lost by a point, 3-2 in the duel. Really some narrow losses, wrestled well in Las Vegas.
Trombley's got to close the gap. His last couple of shots that he had have been from a distance. And Eddie Ventresca has good, solid defense. He's not coming out of his stance. And so we got to watch Trombley shooting from a distance. He needs to get almost arm's length away before he shoots.
Hands to the face, okay?
Potentially dangerous against Ventresca. Hands to the face. If it happens again, that could be a point for Trombley.
Potentially dangerous.
It was a point of emphasis a couple of years ago to try to knock that element out of the sport. Quick escape has been it for Ventresca. Will be Trombley's choice in the third.
Both these guys are battle-tested. When I mean they've had some tight matches, overtime matches. So while you want to win it in regulation, these guys aren't afraid to go to an overtime match because they've been there before.
Rock, like you were talking about earlier, you see where Trombley wants to go. He wants to get that left arm underhook, try to drive that in and at least get Ventresca out of his comfort area, but he's been unable to do so.
He's doing a good job of just banging the head. He's moving his hands, and he's clubbing hard. He's just got to watch him leading too much to open up an opportunity for Ventresca.
Wolfpack fans hoping that the experience will pay off for Jared Trombley in the final 2 minutes.
Ventresca is very good on top. Trombley has got to explode.
All right, Green, you got one caution, okay? With those hands up to face, it's time to be illegal. Set.
Keep in mind,
Top, red.
Trombley with just the 9 seconds of riding time, so he will try to return the favor, but he was a little bit quick.
Okay?
A caution given.
One caution each. You get 2 freebies.
Let's go, guys. On
Then
the
a
whistle,
third
okay?
caution,
Here we
your
go.
opponent gets a point.
Set. Do it again.
Sit out position, Trombley will start to work on the grip, and he is away.
Really good job there. Patient. He isolated the right hand of Ventresca and then the cut through. And that's what you learn in junior high. Very good job on a very game Ventresca who's good on top.
So it becomes who can latch on the first takedown here. Neither wrestler able to do anything on top. Riding time not a factor, and down the home stretch we come, tied at 1. A pivotal weight tonight. When you look at it, so many weights, you're just going to toss up in the air. There's a low strike, but Trombley able to hop skip his way out of trouble.
One good thing that Ventresca is doing is keeping his stance. He's keeping his stance. And when keeping your stance, that creates an opportunity for a re-attack or a re-shot. You can sense that the fans on the edge of their seats, they want to start off hot.
Everybody in this arena knows the significance here at 125. Again, it's Ventresca for the second time this period trying to drop to an ankle.
Trombley's got a down block. He's trying to step through, and if he doesn't step through, he can get in position of giving up a takedown. He's got a down block, meaning put his hand to the mat, match the level of Ventresca. He's just trying to kick away.
Consecutive shots as Ventresca picks up the pace a little bit.
Short time, he has to hold center.
Stall call on Trombley. Into the attack for Ventresca. Trombley rolls through. Scramble situation. Down to 2, down to 1, and we go to sudden victory. Oh my.
That was good. You know what was really good about that? Ventresca earned a stall call. So here's the last scramble here. Ventresca shot, got the stall call, and he was starting to turn and cut the corner. And what did Trombley do? He tried to dive through and kept the scramble going with short time. We were in overtime the first match.
Momentum right now with Ventresca. Let's see if Trombley can get back on the offensive. A 2-minute sudden victory. First one to score wins. If nothing is settled, we will go into 2 30-second periods, wrestled to the completion. And then a second sudden victory of a minute.
Trombley looks like he's slowing down just a hair. And that's all it takes, just a hair of not being as quick can create an opportunity for your opponent to score.
Hey, let's work up there.
Eddie Ventresca just needs to fire off. He just needs to fire off here. He's giving Trombley an opportunity to stay in this. He's got to fire off.
Reaches with the left arm, tried to find the opposite leg.
One thing that Trombley does not want to do, he does not want to force a shot.
Trombley trying to communicate with his corner. You could see him with some words for Papalizio and the assistants.
They were saying, it looks like they were saying that, hey, he might have pulled a headgear and they don't want to throw the brick. So they say, no, don't throw a brick there. Because his headgear slid over to the left side of his ear. Stalemate, 48 seconds. Ventresca has got to keep the pressure. He's got to stall call. He's got to force the action just a little bit. Vital match here. Vital match.
Under position here by Trombley as he works Ventresca back a few steps. Doesn't appear to want to go anywhere with it. We'll go back into the center.
Again, Trombley's just look a little slower. There's the shot! There's the shot! There's the shot, but look at this! Look at this! He might put it on his back! Do we have control yet? There's control! No! It's a neutral danger! There's the takedown! Off the offense! Neutral danger! That was explosive. Ventresca had it in, looked like it was dead to his right. And then what happened? A little roll action there. Ventresca gets in and looks like these barriers look like about to cover it, but look what Trombley do. He rolls over, and then it's a neutral danger. Neutral danger, his back is in over a 90 degree. The official counts, and Trombley gets on the board for NC State. I tell you what, that shot by Ventresca, I thought it was going to be a takedown.
He was in on multiple shots toward the latter stages, just could not finish any of them, and then the neutral danger call, and NC State starts with a bang. 133, Kyle Reaney, ranked 25th, 8-4 this year. Sam Latona is one of the top wrestlers in the country at his new weight, 18-4 this year. And Rock, what have you noticed from Latona a little bit different from his days at 125?
Well, certainly being bigger and having the ability to worry about improving as opposed to keeping your weight down is always important. But his offense looks pretty good too. He has a really good knee pull, but he has to be careful because Kyle Reaney can scramble with anyone.
Kyle Reaney, the redshirt sophomore, Imperial, Missouri, Seckman High School. He was the NCAA qualifier last season. Seeded 15th, he went 2-2 at Nationals. Third place finish at the ACC Championship, matched up against Sam Latona, the redshirt junior. Pride of Alabama for Latona. Two-time qualifier. He was an All-American 2 years ago. He placed 6th.
Not a really good shot by Kyle Reaney. Just went to his knees and kind of reached. And you got to be careful because what Sam Latona will do is snap and he'll do what's a go behind. And with his length, it makes it very difficult to try and follow when someone's doing a go behind. A go behind is essentially going behind your opponent.
We had a chance to talk with Tony Roby earlier in the week, and he just talked about how fresh Sam Latona is each and every day in practice, not having to focus on weight. It was really tough for Latona, you know, to go down and maintain that 25 pounds as he gets in on the first shot. Roby says they've been able to put all the energy on technique and wrestling fundamentals and improving his offense on his feet, which is what he's trying to do here as he has the leg up of O'Reaney.
O'Reaney's doing a good job. What's called a shin whizzer. He had his hand in there and he's trying to put the weight on it, but what is Latona going to do? Latona's trying to lift the leg up, and Kyle Reaney did a good job. What's called a limp knee. Kind of get that knee, kind of like a rubber knee. Us people over the age of 30 have a problem doing that.
One trademark, the more you watch Sam Latona as he tries to reach again, he's always been somewhat of a slow starter out of the gates, and then he really gets it going once you roll into January, February, the ACC championships in March, and the NCAAs. Similar situation, he had a tough Keene Invitational, lost to Dylan Ragusin, lost to Oregon State. Second straight year where the month of December just did not treat him well, but he's wrestling a pretty good roll of late, having won 6 in a row coming into this. And he clamps onto a leg, tries to secure the backside. O'Reaney trying to get to the safety of the boundary, and look at Latona just patiently drag him back in where he has some real estate to work.
That's what you're supposed to do, bring him to the center so there's more time. But Kyle Reaney looks very patient here. Very patient, and he's not avoiding the action. He's just defending, and the action is taken out. So at this point, Sam Latona has got to take his time, but he's got to work a little faster. There's about 20 seconds left in this period. Kyle Reaney wants to be patient, keep the distance, keep his hands locked so Sam Latona cannot get in. Kyle Reaney is doing the right thing, keeping the distance away. Really good job. Nothing yet. Oh, these guys are so good. Nothing, nothing, nothing. No takedown, no takedown, no takedown. There's a takedown at the buzzer. At the buzzer. Now the referee's going to talk about that.
chasing. He's chasing.
But the ankle's still in the rope action here. And it was still moving. And one thing that San Antonio didn't do, he didn't let go. And he kept moving forward, covered the hips right before the whistle.
Latona able to get the takedown with just under a second to go in the first period. So now Orini, as we start period 2, underneath, quick stand up. Crowd loves a good mat return. Latona obliges, but Orini just springs right back up to his feet. 2-1 here in this second period. NC State up 3-0 after a sudden victory win at 125.
San Antonio is keeping the pressure on Orini. Orini's going to create his offense once someone gets in, more of a counter wrestler. Now, the other thing that we saw was Orini, when he shoots, he's got to get his hips underneath him. Because if you just reach with your arms, San Antonio is going to do a go behind and then drop down to a single. So he has to shoot with his hips underneath his arms.
Even though Orini carries a sophomore label, he's been in Raleigh for 4 years, so he's a veteran in the room. A lot of tight matches this season for Kai Orini. 5-2 in duels.
Look for a misdirection from Sam Latona. He's been shooting to the right leg, but he also has a good knee pill to the opponent's other leg. He's clearly the aggressor here. Kai Orini is staying center, but he's not really firing off attacks. Sean, we were talking to assistant coach Tariq Wilson, and he said, watch for Kai Orini. He could shock people tonight.
Orini with the escape, and that is it in the second period. Latona behind the late first period takedown, a 2-1 advantage. And Latona headlining the ACC wrestlers at this weight. Philippi ranked 7th, and then you have Orini, and then the youngster Garrett Grice of Virginia, 4 ranked wrestlers here at 133. Everybody, though, chasing Sam Latona. Orini, deep waist. Cuts down the left elbow. Latona trying to quad pot his way back up. And he is able to get out for the point, and a 3-1 lead.
Center. Work center.
Roby has always enjoyed coaching Sam Latona. Very easy guy. Belief in himself is not a problem. Roby wishes a lot of his athletes would have the approach that Sam Latona hit campus with. It's a straight-on shot there by Orini. Really rock his first offense of the night as he tries to capitalize.
Good job by San Antonio to keep the hips down. Kai Orini has to continue to go to his right to get behind. But good heavy hips. Watch a re-attack from Latona off of this. You're right, Sean. That was the first committed shot that Kai Orini had. And there got to be some confidence building, saying, look, I can get to his legs. And that's how it's just part of the battle, getting to your legs. But got to finish.
Sam Latona, Thompson High School, Alabaster, Alabama.
This is where the sprint has to start. Sprint means the offense from Kai Orini has got to start because it's going to be rare for him just to get a clean takedown off of Sam Latona. And Sam Latona is just going to be in defense right now. 30 seconds left.
Latona's always been a tough one to figure out as far as trying to crack his armor.
Red,
tough
red
defense.
stone.
His length is always a problem.
Center.
And Orini's going to have to roll the
Center,
die
center.
now. He's going to have to start taking some chances. Driving Latona near the edge. Latona scrambles into the center. And it is going to be Virginia Tech evening this one up tonight here in Blacksburg. Sam Latona, his 19th win of the year.
1 second left.
He's now won 7 straight. And they're going to keep 1 second to go. One last shot, and that will be it. Latona 3-1. And no surprise through the first couple of weights, we are tied at 3 here inside Cassell Coliseum. Sam Latona, the All-American from a couple of years ago, hoping to get back to the podium, a brand new weight. The late takedown to close out the first period, the difference. We're tied at 3 early on for Blacksburg. Another big day at college hoops tomorrow. We're going to end up right there inside the Dean Dome. But first, how about Matt Cleveland, Florida State, Jamarius Burton, Pitt. First game tipping off 3:30 Eastern. Then it's off to the Dean Smith Center. Caleb Love in North Carolina hosting Terquavion Smith and NC State. Another Tobacco Road rivalry matchup and a great afternoon of hoops tomorrow. 141. Talked about some freshmen that have been impressive so far this year. Tom Crook would fall into the category out of Tampa, Florida. Tampa Jesuit, 13-4, taking on Ryan Jack, maybe the most improved wrestler from a year ago in the ACC, off to a terrific start. 15-1 this year for the 6th-ranked sophomore from Danbury, Connecticut.
He's changed his mentality. He used to question coaches a little bit, but then after the Nationals, and he didn't have the finish that he wanted, he said, I'm all in. I'm all in, coach. And as a result, he's been selected as a team captain, voted by his teammates.
Tom Crook wanted to be a Hokie from a young age, grew up in the Sunshine State near the Tampa area, and now in his first ACC duel looking at Ryan Jack. We are underway, tied at 3. NC State wins at 25. Virginia Tech counters at 33.
Little thing, Ryan Jack went bang, bang, snatch single. He didn't even penetrate for the first shot. You see that? He went for a snatch. He's not even penetrating. He's hitting the head twice. Bang, bang, snatch. Not trying to get underneath Crook.
Jack looking for a trip. One thing about Ryan Jack as he reaches for the low leg, this guy will shoot. If you have a shot ticker at home, it would probably be wore out by the end of the night. He will shoot, and shoot some more.
Offense is what you need to have in order to score points. And even if you don't get the score, you're creating the action. Everything in wrestling that you do does not have to score a point, but it has to send a message. And Ryan Jack is sending a message that I'm going to keep attacking. But here's the thing, Tom Crook, from what the staff has said and his fellow wrestlers said, he wrestles through every position. So even if Jack gets in on the leg, he's going to wrestle through it. They wrestled against each other back in December. And Ryan Jack had an 8-2 win, a couple takedowns, 3 takedowns, and that was back in December. And freshmen grow so much week by week.
These two meeting in the desert in Las Vegas at the Keene Invitational. Halfway through period 1, no score. He talked about Ryan Jack and just a completely different approach compared to where he was last year. And his teammates noticed it. They immediately voted him captain as a sophomore. That's quite an honor with a team that has the tradition that NC State has throughout the years. But they saw that this could be their leader, not just this year, but in future years to come.
Tell you what, Jack is doing a really good job of banging the head and creating a shot. Nothing wasted. If he's using and pulling and banging the head, he's creating opportunities.
Let the fingers go. Let him go. Let him go.
You hear the official saying, let it go. If they have interlocked fingers, it'll be a stalemate.
No score through 1 period. And the pipeline has been there for Danbury, Connecticut, in particular the Jack family. Kevin was the NC State wrestler, the 3-time All-American. He's currently with Pat Papalizio, right next to Coach Pop as a volunteer assistant, and now he gets a chance to watch his younger brother. And I was talking to Papalizio this week, and the two Jack brothers had a pretty heated exchange right after the NCAAs, just like brothers do. And Kevin has certainly been a motivator for Ryan. Those two kind of had it out. They both talked on the phone that same night, wanted to get better together. And Kevin told Ryan, you have all the skills to go even further than what I did for my time in Raleigh. That's the plan. That's what they're hoping.
And the only reason why people chastise you is because they want the best for you. And a brother, good return to the mat. But they're saying those who really put encouraging words are sometimes harsh. And it's only because they want the best of you. And Kevin Jack certainly wants the best for his younger brother, Ryan.
And this is one of the areas where he has grown and improved. Was last year, there were lots of times he simply did not want to ride. And you're seeing some of the improvement right now, keeping Tom Crook underneath to the delight of Kevin Jack.
That's the biggest difference in college wrestling from high school is mat wrestling. And as a freshman, that's oftentimes the hardest thing to learn is how to get out of bottom, and especially against someone like Ryan Jack. But Crook's doing a good job of standing up. He's working hard.
You heard the count started up there by Angel Rivera as Jack knew where he was near the edge. So he goes back to the center. He has 56 seconds of riding time right now.
He's doing a good job of staying on his toes and keeping pressure on Tom Crook. Look at him putting the weight forward on his shoulders. Crook's head is down, but he's trying to get finger control, not necessarily wrist control, but he's grabbing the fingers. He's almost out. And the second time that Jack has done it, he's done a little trip right there to stay on top. That's just clever wrestling there. As soon as he gets up, right when he's about to get away, little trip action. Does it happen again? He tried it again.
Good job by Jack, working his way back up the body, drops right back down to a leg, and now he gets tagged with the stall call. Still has a minute 37 ride time, gets a fresh start in the center.
And that was a traditional stall call because he dropped down to a leg, got the count at 4, dropped back up, dropped back down. Great call by the official to say, look, I don't have to count to 5 to call your stall. If I don't think you're moving forward, that's a stall. Good job by the official.
Let's go. Set. On top.
This becomes a real critical 23 seconds for the freshman from Florida. Let's see if Crook can get the point. Slowly working his way up. Again, pressure on the toes, and now an illegal hold. They call him locked hands, and that's an unconventional way to get a point if you're Tom Crook, and you'll take it.
You definitely take it. The official was right in front. He saw it, called it. There was not a questionable call by the NC State saying, we don't think so. Hey, it is what it is. So he's got to keep working here. He's working. Tom Crook's got to keep coming out. He just got to keep moving. Short time. He's got to keep moving.
Jack rides him for the entire 2 minutes, but he gives up that late point for the locked hands. So now it will be Crook's turn to work up top. Very tough weight when you look at the ACC. Cole Matthews, he's been ranked number 1 this year. Jack, we're seeing the talent that Crook has.
Crook's got to keep him down for over a minute to knock away this riding time point that's happening.
Tom Crook, a 4-time Florida State champion, went undefeated. First wrestler in school history to win 4 state titles, finish his career unbeaten.
He's isolating the right hand, getting his hips away, and Crook is doing a good job of trying to, Crook's doing a good job, but a good job by Ryan Jackson trying to cut the corner. Still controlled by Crook, still getting, looks like we're gonna get out of bounds, 1 neutral for loss of control. Almost had a reversal, but the official said no control had been established, but I'll give you 1 point for loss of control or an escape.
Couldn't quite drag the toes for 2 in the reversal, but he will get the 1. He keeps the riding time in his corner as well for Ryan Jack.
And for you new fans at home, even though it's 1-1, right now it's really 2-1 because Ryan Jack has over a minute of riding time. Therefore, it's up to Crook to try and get the action going to score because right now he's down.
Working off the elbow tie. Crook trying to sweep his way in. Jack just steering him, keeping him at bay.
And let's remember, Sean, Ryan Jack has a stall call against him. So Crook has got to keep the action moving forward. He's got to keep it going here. He doesn't want to go out of bounds. You see he's trying to dig his feet in, trying to circle here. And as long as any part of the body is on the inside, the clock is going to keep running. So we have 20 seconds. 20 seconds. Ryan Jack has to stay center. What Crook has to do is keep up the action. The crowd is getting it. They know what's happening right now. He's got to fire off some shots.
Short time wrestling. We're down to 10 seconds. Jack in on the leg. This is a time absorber if you're Ryan Jack. You don't want to move from this position. He'll try to keep his grip. Crook is unable to free the leg. And NC State is going to win with riding time. The second period ride, and Pat Papalizio's Wolfpack go up 6-3.
Really gritty wrestling by Jack to get the ride out in the second period and get a 1-point win. And Sean, this is what we expected. Tight matches at 25, 33, 41, and here's the feature match. Two freshmen, true freshmen, Jackson Arrington from the state of Pennsylvania, Caleb Henson from the state of Georgia. Caleb Henson, he is a goer. He does not stop, and he doesn't give a rip who he's going against.
Forget about the future. For these two guys, the future is now. Two talented true freshmen, and here comes one of the fan favorites, Caleb Henson, Cartersville, Georgia.
Oh boy, I am floating on anticipation for this one.
Henson kind of caught everybody's attention early in the season. A huge win over Sammy Sasso of Ohio State, a 5-3 win, and here's the offense early on Jackson Arrington. Heavy hips being applied here by Arrington as he tries to bury Henson underneath, and he does a good job of it.
If you look at Caleb Henson, his arms are kind of long, so when he got in that double, he was able to get his hips underneath him. Just from his frame alone, he looks like he can grow into a 57-pounder. Henson, that is.
Well, how do you want to welcome in your collegiate dual career, a win against Sammy Sasso?
Look at the slide by. He's trying to hustle here. He's chasing the other ankle. Good defense. Good defense by Arrington. Now it's just patience right now. Patience, tight whizzer. Keeping the hips in this Arrington. What I'm seeing, Sean, is that Henson is getting to the legs. He is getting to the legs.
Hey, you bleeding? Yeah.
Little blood. There is no blood time per se. It's just a blood timeout, but it's not a running clock. And it might be good, you know, a little flurry here, and now the coaching staff can talk to their wrestlers and say, hey, look, you're doing a good job, but you need to open up here. These are freshmen, true freshmen.
See Jared Frere in the shot there, one of the assistants. And you take a look at this schedule in his first year. Caleb Henson, the win against Sasso, lost to Zapp, lost to Brock Mahler, and then a 6-2 setback to Yanni Diakomahalis. Most recently, an impressive win against John Milner. So welcome to the party, freshman here for Mr. Henson.
He's going at it, but this defense by Arrington is pretty stingy here. Now what? Good limp arm. Good limp arm. Right back to the single to get the takedown. Offense, offense, offense. Caleb Henson kept attacking. Let's see what he can do on top. What does he learn through the first semester wrestling top quality? What does Caleb Henson learn about riding? Conversely, what does Jackson Arrington learn about getting out of bottom? We saw that in the last match, Sean. At 141, it was all about riding time to make the difference in the winner.
Here we are, fourth match in. Low-scoring bouts through the first 3 weights. Caleb Henson trying to change that with his wide variety of offensive attacks, his fully stocked arsenal. Jackson Arrington underneath, trailing 2-0 inside a minute to go. Quick, compact, explosive return there by Henson.
Lacing the ankle and holding on now. The referee's going to look and say, are you just going to figure 4 and sit on it, or are you trying to use it? Relentless pressure by Henson, just moving forward. And it's not much that Jackson Arrington can do with a head lever. When the head is right in the tricep, bicep, and the head's there, you can't do too much. Really solid end of the first period for Caleb Henson.
Ends up with 1:35 of riding time, Rock, after the takedown.
So Henson kept getting in, and then he did a trip to cover. So what he had was he had the single first, and then he limped on him and went right back to the single to get the takedown.
Woodland High School in Georgia. I was talking with Cliff Fretwell earlier this afternoon. Compound wrestling, and the state of Georgia, Rock, is just producing so much talent.
And it's not just football talent. They got some good wrestlers down there. And the nation is starting to see that the Southeast has really quality wrestling.
Henson, part of Woodland High School, wrestled for Adrian Tamatola. Coach Tamatola retired last season, but you look at the list of names who have went through that particular high school.
You go over there.
It's a pretty impressive list as the first brick comes in of the night.
So the brick is for a technical violation, locking hands.
The challenge is lock hands.
The challenge is lock hands. So he's looking to see at that point was Jackson Arrington locking hands while Caleb Henson was on the mat. When you're on the mat and you lock hands, there is no reaction time. However, if you're standing on your feet and then you bring someone back to the mat, there is reaction time there. So what they're looking at, they believe Caleb Henson was already on the mat. So when those hands touch, that's by application locking hands and looking for a point. And so they're going to look it over, talk about it. I mean, we saw locking hands last match. What's going on here? You don't see that too often in college matches.
Very rare. But if called here, it could be 2 pivotal calls as we take another look. Standing position. What do you think, Rock?
Now, there is reaction time. Reaction time is to the discretion of the official. Let's see what the call is.
The call is going to stand, okay?
All on the mat stands?
Yeah.
No lock hands?
No, let me announce it first.
I got you.
Hey, out the way. After further review, the call is no locked hands, it stands.
And so the question is, you may have saw the fans that the hands are locking us down. It's reaction time. And also, it was in slow motion. So for you fans at home saying, that was definitely locked hands, it was slow motion. And since Caleb Henson was on his feet and being brought back down, there's reaction time granted. This is a frantic pace right here.
1, 2, 3.
Look at the creative. This Henson guy, he just goes. Wrestle real smart right there, but also Arrington, he's not shaking it. He said, I'm going to keep following you.
Arrington doing a nice job cutting into the riding time that Henson had built up in the first period.
And one of the things that Arrington had, he had a singlet, and what did Henson do? He's put his hand to the mat, which means start the count for the officials. But these are true freshmen. Wrestling like this on the mat? Get out of here.
Action coming our way and out of bounds, back into the center. Minute 19 to go, second period. The riding advantage has been wiped out because of Harrington's effort in this second period. Jackson Arrington went 5-2 in Las Vegas, picking up valuable experience before this ACC dual schedule begins. Trying to bring Henson down, does for a moment. Man, Henson's just like the Energizer Bunny underneath. He just keeps popping right back up. Relentless, making Arrington work for every second of the clock that he has in the riding position. And finally, Henson is able to get away, 3-0.
If anything, he knocked down a riding time. Mentally tough wrestling by both wrestlers. Jackson Arrington to stay on top, and then Caleb Henson to keep moving.
Both these wrestlers from powerhouse programs. We talked about Woodland and state of Georgia, Forest Hills High School up in PA, Pennsylvania. One state his freshman year, talking about Arrington, and then back-to-back his junior and senior campaigns.
What I'm seeing is that Caleb Henson is the aggressor on the offense, and we need to see a little more from Jackson Arrington in terms of creating his offense. We just haven't seen it because Caleb Henson just been moving forward. If he fires off a few more shots, he might get a stall call here.
Two upper-level freshmen, and no real surprise, not a lot of separation after 5 minutes. 3-0 lead. Caleb Henson of Virginia Tech, and we talked about the state of Georgia sending a lot of wrestlers to ACC schools. Been quite a few. You look at Chase Horn, the freshman heavyweight, Russ Lawrence, Matty Singleton, who we will see a little bit later on at 65.
Good coaching here, because when Jackson Arrington was standing up, he was sitting out, he put his hand over his ankle. So we need to see something from Jackson Arrington here. We've seen Caleb Henson moving forward. We've seen good defense by Jackson Arrington. But Jackson Arrington's got to create the offense here. It's only a 3-1 match, no riding time.
Any real surprise so far watching this, what you thought coming in?
The only thing I'm a little surprised about is that Jackson Arrington isn't firing off as much as I've seen him. But he's holding position. He's holding position. And we got to be careful because Henson always goes hard, and we just got to make sure that he doesn't go too hard and put himself in a bad position.
Arrington gets hit with stalling. Henson comes in with a hit on the lower half. Takedown here by Henson will make it a serious uphill climb for Arrington. Henson secures the second leg and gets the takedown. 5-1, Caleb Henson.
He kept working for his shots and creating opportunities. I've seen Caleb Henson, and he is a goer. He is a goer, and he's not reckless.
One, two, three, four.
Wow, he wrestles the whole match. He doesn't let anything go. Caleb Henson looked very good. I tell you what, Blacksburg, you all have a star in the making. These guys are gonna keep going at it for years to come. And this is what we saw in the last takedown. He covers the hip, come across the body. Every match that we've seen so far has been a tight one. This is what we expected with two top teams.
This is the 100th year of Virginia Tech wrestling.
Huge signature win. Virginia Tech's first national champion.
So much pride in this program. Virginia Tech celebrating 100 years of wrestling. Cassell Coliseum, Tony Roby, year number 6. This has been a fortress, a prize fortress for Hokie Nation. 665 program wins over the past century. The one NCAA champion, Mekhi Lewis, who we will see a little bit later on tonight. And listen to the ovation as Bryce Andonian gets the nod. He has been banged up all year, made his return last weekend at the Purple Raider Invitational. Just 3-0, matched up against Ed Scott, the high-scoring sophomore. Scott and Andonian buckle up here at 157.
Ladies and gentlemen, hold your breath. Someone is going to attempt a throw. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. This is Bryce Andonian.
Scott bridging up underneath, able to get to his base. Early fireworks from Andonian, who looks like he's been wrestling all year.
Bambi said it was just a matter of time. I mean, you know how much confidence it takes just to throw someone of the caliber of Ed Scott? And so, Ed Scott just has to get himself composed. 6-0. Here it is. We said it. Lock the body lock, pinch it, and throw it. Take down. Full allotment of back points. Ed Scott has just got to come back, scoring 1 point at a time. Bryce Andonian hasn't wrestled a tough match in a long time. But one thing that Scott has to do is just be patient and just work his way back into the match.
Andonian, 6-0 here in this first period. Second straight year injuries have slowed him down at the start of the season. This year he injured his foot in a preseason wrestle-off. Last year he only wrestled 4 matches combined in the months of December and January. So this is a guy that can ignite his engine in a hurry. And now he has the cradle rock. Scott trying to get out, and he does. 4 more, though, for Andonian. And now Scott comes right back. Feet to back for Scott. He'll get the reversal on the edge.
Oh, my goodness. These last 20 seconds, give them back to me every time. Holy moly. Andonian cradle. Andonian locks in the cradle, throws him over, gets some swipes here. And what happens? Ed Scott gets right back and says, no, let me get your back and break it, and takes him right back down and gets the alignment off a reversal. Oh, we've been waiting for a match like this all match long. Oh my goodness, it's 10-6.
Just like that, Scott gets right back into it. 16 points on the board, and we might not be done in this first period. Scott very good at getting turns.
We said this before, all Scott has to do is just come back slowly. Bryce Andonian is going to be challenged. He hasn't had a match like this in a while. Ed Scott has been through just a great schedule, and he's looking for a roll through. But what does Bryce Andonian do? He puts him on his back. Bryce Andonian might get a fall here. Good grief. This is just action. Thank you, gentlemen. Sean, it's 16-6. We're just leaving the end of the first period. This is crazy. This is crazy.
Andonian is going to let the dust settle here a little bit. He's going to ride out the final few moments. Everybody's going to take a collective breath and regroup here. 22 points.
Here's a roll through, but what does Bryce Andonian? He steps over and puts a basic half Nelson in. Good job by Ed Scott to fight off his back. It was close. All it takes is 1 second. That's a fall. Sean, remind me of the score of this first period. This is crazy.
I'm not a math major. I can't keep up with it.
Man.
16 on the board for Andonian, who has wrestled only 3 matches this season. Trying to stick in the half as he goes to work. The All-American from a year ago, placed third at Nationals at 149. That's something we haven't talked about. He, like Latona, has bumped up a weight, now at 57.
Now, what does Ed Scott have to do? Ed Scott has to do what he did in the first period, slowly get back into this match. It does not matter how, just how do you get back? You score points. 17-6. Now, at this point, Andoni is going to continue to wrestle his style, but he doesn't have to do anything reckless, because right now he's up 17-6. That being said, look at this. Look at this. I'm wondering, did Bryce Andoni take time off?
Certainly doesn't look like it.
He's knocking on a tech fall right now. Knocking on a tech fall.
So you see Roby there, and he kind of gave the flatten sign. A guy like Andonian, do you ever tell him to maybe put on the brakes a little bit? Don't get yourself in a position where Scott can get right back in it.
This is what happened. Bryce Andonian, 3 years ago, you would have to really coach him on that. But he's been through this. So he knows, like, look, I'm going to try and score, but he knows how to score when the opportunity is available. This is Sean. 2 more points, and 2 more points, and it's a match termination for Bryce Andonian. It doesn't feel like it.
Scott, the reigning champion at this weight, in a buzzsaw right now. Down 13, leg in by Andonian, and a huge lead as this crowd starts to make more and more noise. On a night we weren't sure if we would see any bonus points. These two teams are so evenly matched. Will it be the All-American from a year ago that delivers? And that arm got up around the throat area, so they're going to stop the action. Some blood as well, I believe. I think Scott's bleeding up in the facial area, maybe a nosebleed, so he's going to go to the corner and a chance to not just physically regroup, but mentally as well for the third period.
I needed this regroup right now. You know what this reminiscent of is years ago when Kennedy Monday came in and Tech Fall McFadden, nobody expected this. I did not expect this. I didn't expect Bryce Andonian to look as sharp as he is right now. Shame on me.
Take a look at this weight here in the ACC. The national champion, Austin O'Connor. North Carolina trying to get a lot of guys healthy. O'Connor, one of them. And then you have Andonian and Scott. Raleigh's going to be fun in March.
I'm trying to get through this match. I'm having too much fun calling this match. Here it is. One thing that Ed Scott does, he has an underhook, and he'll lock behind the head, and he'll throw a headlock to either hip, left hip or right hip. So, because he's a thrower, he's still in this match.
Sit out by Scott. Short time wrestling, 9 seconds to go. Andonian just squeezing with his thighs and legs. Scott trying to work his way up. Andonian says, no, you don't. 19-6 into the third period we go. So here's a question real quick for you, Rock. Obviously no rust with the offense of Andonian. One of the more electrifying wrestlers in all of college wrestling. After the long layoff, the second question becomes gas tank, endurance. We'll find out right now in this third.
Everyone gets tired. It's can you function while tired? So at this point, Bryce Andonian's tired. Ed Scott's tired. But can you function? That means, are you going to get sloppy on some of your technique? So when you're tired, it's all about mentally still doing the right things. So don't get it twisted. Both guys are breathing hard. The question is, can you still function while tired? So Bryce Andonian will put a leg in, and when Ed Scott, looks like we get some back swipes here. Good job by Ed Scott to get off his back. And he's going to come on up, and wisely, and I say this, we've also said wisely, Bryce Andonian bailed out. He's like, there's no reason to fight this. Let me just not give up something that's ridiculous and give up back points. because Ed Scott throws, he is still in this match. However, Virginia Tech certainly wants to try to work for a technical fall. They're already in major decision area. Major decision is 8 to 14-point differential.
Scott 5-3 in duels, 11-4 overall. He's lost to Peyton Robb of Nebraska twice. Corbin Munson stunned him at the armbar, the Armory, and then a loss to Josh Humphreys of Lehigh in the collegiate duels down in New Orleans. That has been it so far in the loss category for Scott. Andonian is away. Riding time, 1:27 in favor of Virginia Tech.
So Bryce Andonian needs to get a takedown here. It's 20 to 8. Riding time makes it 21 to 8. A takedown. A takedown. He's got to keep him down. If he keeps him down, he can earn a technical fall. Now, what Ed Scott, he's got to score a point to keep it to a major decision. Right now, since it is 22 to 8. With the riding time, it is 23. Can he get back points here? Ed Scott's almost there. He's got to get out of here to preserve just a major decision.
And he will get the reversal. He'll do even better. So what Scott is fighting for now is that all-important, valuable team point.
And so now he's got to get a takedown. He's got to get a takedown.
His coaches are letting him know.
He's got to get a takedown.
This crowd trying to get behind Andonian. 6 seconds. One last straight-on double shot. Scott thins it off, but 24 big ones put on the board. Welcome back, Bryce Andonian.
Bryce Andonian showing no rust. Came in, and Scott early and kept the pressure on. Gets a major decision and got the Hokies in a great position.
Rock Reacts is back, and no better place to see Rock in action than right here in Blacksburg. Yeah, my right arm, my right shoulder, it's nice, it's loose, it's ready, it's fresh, kind of like Andonian. But I tell you what, by the time we get through tonight, I don't know. There's going to be some bruises, there's going to be some blood. You know, I always wanted to know what it felt like to be a fire hydrant. That might be my best chance right there with your position, Rock. Oh, it's good to be back with you.
I should be embarrassed, but I'm not.
Maddie Singleton, Connor Brady. Boy, NC State could really use their freshman now after what we just saw, 57. Singleton, who has made the move to 65, debuted in New Orleans at this weight after starting the year at 74. Keep in mind, Singleton wrestled 182 in high school. His opponent, Connor Brady, the redshirt sophomore out of Powell, Ohio, and here comes Brady. He too is in a weight adjustment this season. He bumped up from 57 to 65 this year, and he has wrestled one of the more difficult schedules in the country at this new weight. And we are underway. Virginia Tech, for the first time tonight, leads in this team duel 10-6. Singleton comes in with the first shot. Whizzer applied by Brady. Singleton stays with the initial shot and gets the takedown.
Takedown control was established. It wasn't necessarily a rear standing. But you know what? I like to start from Maddie Singleton right there. You know, after a really tough loss, a match before, you wonder if the freshman's going to be a little nervous or he's going to try to do too much. Took a single, finished it, and he's up.
Maddie Singleton won 4 Georgia high school state championships, Woodward Academy. His father, Wayne, actually wrestled for Virginia Tech, so he has to change his loyalty for tonight's matchup. Talked about the state of Georgia earlier with Henson, and now we get it from the NC State perspective with Maddie Singleton, compound wrestling with Cliff Fretwell, Coach Roper, who's now with you and I on Doug Schwab's staff up in Cedar Falls. They have produced a lot of collegiate names that have hit the landscape, not just here in the ACC, but all across the country this year. Singleton, a 2-1 lead, first period inside, minute 30 to go.
Connor Brady, who's been wrestling in college for years now, he's got to find out what does this freshman have in him. So he's got to keep the pressure going and make him realize that this is going to be a fight to the end of the match.
Now, we talked about Brady's schedule this year. He lost to Julian Ramirez of Cornell 3-0, Shane Griffith of Stanford in a tiebreaker, so he took a national champion into the tiebreaker. Came up just short 4-2. Then he lost to Keegan O'Toole, top ranked in the country. And now Brady gets to his offense, and he gets the takedown. Singleton quickly right back up and trying to kick his way free, but Brady maintained for a moment. Singleton does a nice job of getting the escape, and we're tied.
Really clean shot by Brady there. We're at 3-3. And that's what we said before. Connor Brady, he's been in some tough matches. He's just got to let the freshman know that this is going to be a fight throughout the whole match. And just looking at Matty Singleton, he looks composed.
Short time wrestling, final few moments. And a draw through 3 minutes. Late offense though, Rock, from Brady.
He hit a high C, trip, got back in the match. It's so good about this high-level wrestling that these guys are composed. You know, a takedown doesn't mean as much. They're just going to be composed. Even though Ed Scott had a tough match, he was composed and kept working his way back. He didn't put his head down and say, oh, woe is me. When you get this level, you just keep wrestling.
Brady with the roll, slips away for the point, and he has his first lead now.
Critical part of the match, because if Brady gets a takedown here, he starts to really open it up. However, if Matty Singleton gets a takedown here, he closes the gap and really goes into a nice setup for the third period.
Both of these programs have recruited so well over the last 5 years. Brady was the sparkling centerpiece of the Hokie recruiting class back in 2019. Fought some injuries initially upon arriving here in Blacksburg, but is firmly entrenched, 2-year starter, and one thing he's looking to improve on, did not have a great win-loss record last year in ACC competition, but he's trying to change it here.
Went right back to the high C. Went right back to it.
Has the leg elevated. Oh, he lost. Singleton able to get free.
And I was thinking about that. I said, is Brady going to go right back to it? Because it looks like Matty Singleton isn't getting his hips down. He's a taller 65-pounder, but he's not getting his hips down, and that's why I give him a clean shot for Connor Brady. It's where we start to find out about freshmen. You're in a second period, tight match. He's got to stop reaching. This is where Connor Brady needs to kick it up. Kick it up.
Collar tie by Brady. Inside tie there, Singleton trying to get to his inside position.
He's starting to reach now. Now you see a little pull down by Brady. It's getting Matty Singleton leading forward. Matty Singleton has to keep his stance. And he's got to lower his hips a little more, because he's clearing that side for the high C. There it is again.
Nothing to be found on that shot. Late by Brady, and a 1-point lead for the redshirt sophomore. Justin McCoy, Steve Garland, Virginia headlining the pack at 165. Keep in mind, Singleton's a guy that's just going to go higher and higher up the ranks the more experience he gets. And it just seems like anymore when these freshmen hit the collegiate mats, they are so battle-tested. They've wrestled so many matches at all different levels. A guy like Singleton has already been to Russia and competed in world competition.
Matty Singleton had a sweep single early in the match, but since then he hasn't been able to get to it. This is where Connor Brady has to really push.
Riding time is not a factor.
Watch a throw by here.
What's going to be Singleton's go-to? We've seen the high C from Brady as he comes right back in on that shot. What's Singleton's answer?
We're about to find out what the answer is. But Connor Brady's doing a really good job of keeping the pressure forward. Singleton's starting to stand up a little bit, and that's an indication that you're getting a little tired to stretch your body out a little more. 1 minute left. And at this point, it's tied up. Riding time is not deciding anything. Brady's got to continue to keep the offense going. Singleton had a little single there.
There's a straight on double by Brady as he changed up his arsenal. Singleton reaching for the opposite leg, and now Singleton with his head buried underneath. He's to try to get out of there, and he does. 28 seconds.
Brady's got to go back to that high C again. That's been his magic so far. On that last shot that Brady had, Singleton to do a better job. Look at him standing up just a bit. He's got to keep his stance. Oh, you're right. He's going to run him through. Singleton is going to fight it here. We got short time here. Little action, good defense, nothing yet. Why not? Let's go to overtime again.
Sudden victory, second time we've been there. Papalizio had the advantage earlier tonight. At 125, can Roby and Virginia Tech return the favor here at 65?
NC State needs this match.
Yes, they do.
They
just getting ready to say that. This is huge for Singleton. Brady in on the leg, has it way up high. He'll look for the sweep, the trip. Look at the agility of Singleton. Sprawling right over the top, and now can he free up his leg? And he does! Matty Singleton in sudden victory.
Wow! 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 So Matty Singleton threw his headgear. Now, the question is, will that be unsportsmanlike conduct?
Ankle bands first.
From the grasp of a loss to a big win, Matty Singleton.
Did he toss it or he throw it?
So here it is.
You tell me. Yes, I didn't see it.
So here they're talking about it. This was a freshman mistake.
Unsportsmanlike conduct.
Freshman mistake. Because he took off the headgear, you're supposed to keep it, and he threw it. Now, he was excited.
Unsportsmanlike conduct.
NCAA, was it unsportsmanlike? Was he trying to show up? Was he trying to show up his opponent? No, he wasn't.
I need pop.
But those are the rules. I don't like that. This freshman just came into a hostile environment, got a takedown, and he was his foot was up in the air.
Next time he's out, okay? I'm just telling you.
His foot was up in the air. He almost got taken down, and then he just swung around, got the takedown. He was excited. He threw his headgear. He wasn't trying to show off, but I can't knock the officials. The rules are the rules. I'm not a fan of the rule, though.
Huge win by Matty Singleton, and we get a little bit tighter, but that lost team point could be huge. As we go to 174, Virginia Tech the favorite, the national champion, Mekhi Lewis, three-time NCAA qualifier, won a national title a few years ago, came up so close a season ago, losing in the national finals. He's matched up against Alex Faison of NC State. Here is the arrival of Mekhi Lewis.
Freshman mistake. We're moving on, but Coach Papalizio and the staff are going to teach Matty Singleton. Tell him he did a great job, but you got to be smarter.
Mekhi Lewis, 11-1 this season, fifth-year senior. Took his Olympic red shirt back in 2019 and 20 to train for the Olympic trials. That was right after he won the national championship, Virginia Tech's only national champion in the long storied program here in Blacksburg. nearly had number 2 last March in Detroit.
You see his right knee is banded up pretty good. And that's of Lewis.
Lewis won a tight match his last time out, 6-5 over App State's Will Miller. Rock talked about it, not quite 100%. His only loss this year was in Las Vegas. Mikey Labriola, sudden victory. And you know, Rock, we've watched him enough throughout the years, even in his national championship year and last year when he was a runner-up. He wins a lot of tight matches throughout the course of the year just because of the style the opponents elect to wrestle with him.
Well, what people know is that, yes, Mekhi Lewis has offense, but he's much more effective at counterattacks. And so they say, well, if I'm not going to just shoot too much, I have a chance of competing with Mekhi. Good attacks by Mekhi Lewis right here. Good attacks. And that's the thing, it's not just one shot. It's a culmination of activity that gets you to point. And that's what has to happen on this level of college wrestling. It's not one, it's motion, shot, re-attack, re-shot. So he snapped down, got right to the single, brought it up to the mat, and what did he do? He brought it up and then he stepped back to take away from Fazer trying to reach back to defend and then attack. Oftentimes when you bring that single up, you step back just a little bit and then re-attack.
Still don't move. Set. On top.
Lewis getting into referee position. 2-0 lead here in the first period. Back and forth we go. Virginia Tech leading by 2 in the team score. Again, NC State losing a team point. Tough draw here for Alex Faison, who has really established himself as NC State's wrestler moving forward. Brock Del Signor, a redshirt freshman, started the season, but it's been Faison of late in Whispering Pines, North Carolina.
Faison is being very deliberate and taking his time when trying to stand up. He knows that once Mekhi gets the wrist, he's very tough there.
You look at the national top 5, Carter Starace, right now #1. That was Lewis and Starace a year ago in Detroit for the national championship. Labriola has the win against Lewis this year. Foca sitting at #4. That loss to Starace in the national championship was actually Mekhi Lewis's first loss at the NCAAs. If you recall, in 21, he won his first 2 matches, but he had to medically forfeit out of the tournament. The only other time was 2019 when he won it all.
That's a good point. I didn't think about that. So here's Mekhi Lewis. He knows that he needs to continue to keep up the offense. And there's a shot by Fazer, but there's a re-attack. There's the re-attack. There's the re-attack.
That's exactly what we were talking about earlier in the first period. Nobody better in the country on those counter and the reshots that we have witnessed from Mekhi Lewis throughout his remarkable career here in Blacksburg.
Doing a good job here keeping NC State to the mat. Again, Faison is being very deliberate in how he gets up because he doesn't want to give up wrist control because Mekhi Lewis will tilt. He's keeping his elbows in. He's got to keep his head off the mat a little bit because it looks like stalling.
Action!
And that's what the official says, action, meaning like you got to do something. Now, you can't say who has to do something, but you make a blanket statement like action, meaning somebody's probably going to call for stalling.
We go back to the center, 40 seconds to go, second period, 5-0 Lewis. It's interesting, you have a veteran like Mekhi Lewis, and then you have a sixth-year senior and Hunter Bolin, and you blend in some of these freshmen such as Henson that we've seen earlier tonight. We asked Tony Roby, what's it like in the room? You know, you have so much experience blended in with a lot of young talent. And, you know, Roby told us that guys like Henson have almost become an inspiration to some of these veterans such as Bolin and Lewis.
Ideally, you want all teams to have a blend of senior leadership, upper class leadership, but also some young blood in your lineups.
And Mekhi's never been a real rah-rah vocal type of leader in the room. He's a guy that leads by example. But when he talks, you can bet his teammates listen.
Let's see if he'll try some offense here.
He was looking for it. Faison comes right back with his own. First time he's had the leg, doesn't have a lot of time. And that is going to be it for period 2, 5-1, Mekhi Lewis.
Confidence builder right there, just to get in on the shot. Get in the shot now, Mekhi is very difficult to finish on, but it's the fact that he can get in. Hey, it's 5-1, riding time is almost at 2 minutes. So we're about to see what Mekhi's thoughts are. Are we just going to keep it to decision, or is he going to try to create some offense to try and work towards a major decision? So 5-2. Riding time has not been secured, but it's getting there. So it might be 6-2 when you include the riding time. So he needs to get a couple takedowns or a feet-to-back scenario.
Alex Faison was a big 65-pounder to start the year, was struggling to make weight, so they made the decision to move him up to 174. Had a good Vegas tournament. That's really where he sealed the job. Pick up some confidence at the new weight, and he has been the guy in there ever since.
Sean, when someone has really good defense on their feet in a neutral position, your opponent is hesitant to shoot because they know that they can put themselves in a tough position. Faison has a good high C in a single. The challenge is he doesn't want to make a bad shot because Mekhi's so good at counter offense. A quick look at the clock on Faison. So it looks like Mekhi may not be pushing as much for the bonus point victory. Faison doing a good job of staying right into VT in the middle of the mat. 20 seconds.
Green
Stall call on Faison. Lewis comes in on a shot. Has 10 seconds to try to finish it. Remember, he has riding time locked. He won't get into bonus point territory unless he can get a quick tilt turn. That won't be the case, but Mekhi Lewis secures the win. Very business-like approach from the national runner-up a year ago, and Tony Roby just continues to smile. The healthier and healthier Mekhi Lewis gets with all roads this year leading to Tulsa. One of the mainstays in the Virginia Tech lineup. He hasn't always been healthy throughout his career, but he always puts on a show when he takes the mat, trying to get back on top of the college landscape. Lewis and Virginia Tech extending their lead. Duke and North Carolina, part of our women's college basketball quadruple header next Sunday. Louisville, Syracuse at 12 noon Eastern. Then the Blue Devils take on Florida State, followed by the Tar Heels and Clemson at 4. And then we head off to Rock's old stomping ground, Charlottesville, to cap off a busy day of action. Virginia Tech, Virginia, another great afternoon of hoops on ACC Network and the ESPN app. Well, they're all big, but when you look at this one, maybe the two familiar names in this loaded lineup for both of these squads, Trent Hidley, Hunter Bolin. It is the 6th meeting between these two over the past several years. Bolin has the edge 3-2, but it's been that guy who has won the last 2 meetings, none of them have had a lot of offense.
No, they haven't. But stakes are high.
5 matches wrestled between these two. Bolin has scored 9 points. Hidley has scored 8. They have been defensive battles. NC State trying to rally through the first 7 matches, begin trailing by 5. It has been a little bit of a different version when you watch Hunter Bolin this year, ranked 7th in the country, the redshirt senior, 6-year senior out of Floyd, Virginia, nearby Christiansburg High School. And we want to give a big shout out to some of the members of the high school team. They are here. They had a duel tonight, and then right after the duel, they all hopped on the bus, and they are part of this large crowd, possibly record-setting crowd. They were hoping to get over 5,100 in here tonight. Two wrestlers who know each other so well.
And everyone knows that Trent Howley's going to come with an underhook. But what I've seen a little on this year is kind of like an Iranian style. He'll get to his knees and just kind of bowl you over into like a hip toss. But Hunter Bolin is a different type of strong. He has weight strength, but he also has just natural strength. He grew up on a farm and, hailing bay and doing things of that nature. Just got him what's called grippy strength. He can hold hands, he can hold the grip really well.
Bolin has opened up his offense this season. He's scoring more points, has been good on top, able to get some turns. He talked about it, just getting back to his old self, a different version this year, being aggressive, realize it's his final go-around. He's not going to leave anything behind. So disappointed. He talked about the emotional, almost trauma he went through after Nationals last year and just endured a tough season that Hokie fans weren't used to watching from Hunter Bolin.
Hunter Bolin is pretty tough right here. And what Trent Howley's doing is trying to back out and keep his head in the middle of the chest. He doesn't want to put his hands to the outside.
Working near the edge. And they're going to say neutral position, back to the feet. 40 seconds to go, first period. Trent Hidley.
So I'll tell you what, Hunter Bolin is good what's called a snatch single. He doesn't necessarily do a penetration step. He'll snatch a leg. But what Trent Howley does, he has a good job of keeping his hips further away, so the snatch may not be there as it would with other wrestlers.
Hidley's a 3-time All-American. He was a runner-up at Nationals 2 years ago. Fought an illness in Detroit last year. Still placed 5th. Carries the torch for this Wolfpack program. So emotional. His teammates really feed off his energy.
I'm liking what I'm seeing from Hunter Bolin right now.
Trent's brother Hayden, now a student athlete development coordinator, very instrumental still with this program, working with the guys each and every day, even sticks on the headsets occasionally and helps out with the home broadcast.
That's right. Hayden's doing a fantastic job on the mic, but right now he has nerves like you wouldn't believe. It's a helpless feeling to watch someone you love wrestle and can't do anything but support.
Second period underway. Bolin starts underneath, trying to rip away at the grip. Hidley still latched on to the lower left leg, works his way up the body near the edge. Good job here by Hidley, persistent with the ride, and they go out of bounds with it.
What was Hunter Bolin? He was trying to stay centered. He was trying to stay centered the whole time. So what happens is trying to get out, and then what did Trent do? He just chased and chased and chased. And Hunter Bolin said, I'm just going to try to stay back in. Try to stay back in. And then he stepped out.
Again, Bolin right back up. Stand-up position. Hidley looking for an opportunity to return him. Drops in to that far ankle. Now Bolin, little switcherama near the edge. And a late signal. Did they go 2 on the reversal?
Got 1 for loss of control.
Let's take another look at it.
So what happened was right at this point, you see Hunter Bolin switching right to a double. Good hips, no control yet, out of bounds, one neutral. Tough call there.
38 seconds of riding time. That's what Hidley was able to accumulate as we approach the halfway point of the second period.
The margin of error between these two wrestlers is so very slim.
There's the power underhook by Hidley. That just strikes fear into the opponent, but Bolin has been there. Bolin knows what it feels like, clears it away.
You can't call stalling here because both guys are doing what they can do. These are high-level guys, and you can't do it so much.
Red stalling, red!
So Bolin gets tagged with the stall. Roby disagreed with it. Headlock position here. Bolin bringing Hidley down to one knee.
Ooh, that's a takedown. Short time. Big takedown. Big takedown by Hunter Bolin. So here we have it. Underhook, and then Trent Hidley kind of faces him, but he doesn't face him, and all that Hunter Bolin did was cover the hips. What happened there was Hunter Bolin tried to slip behind the elbow of Trent, and then turned it into a takedown.
Those unanswered points toward the end of the period, and now Hidley gets the quick one, and he will go right back to work. Down 3-1.
3-1, and remember that there's a stall call against Hunter Bolin. So Hunter Bolin really has to stay middle and maybe take some half shots. Trent is not going to stop. Hunter Bolin has got to create some type of offense. Stalling, locking the fingers.
Set.
Right off the whistle. Hidley with a right arm underhook, and now he has a chance for his first offense, but Bolin retreats.
Great defense by Bolin. He was on his hips and got back up. Great defense, but I tell you what, the offense of Trent Hidley may create a stalling opportunities.
Bolin swallows up the head. And now Hidley completely bellied out for a split second, able to get up to his knees, but he wants to hear a whistle, and he will get it. Fresh start as he takes a glance over at the tower clock. Still tons of time, 56 seconds. And a must-have for NC State, down 5 in the team score.
Yes, here's a must-have here. And I tell you what, Trent Hidley's still coming. And he's getting in there. Good hits by Hunter Bolin, but Trent Hidley knows this is his best opportunity. He's got to get the points here, but Hunter Bolin's going to be very patient here. Hunter Bolin's keeping what's a whizzer. He's keeping the arm there. He's not going to give it up. Look at the hips here. Look at the hips. Look at the hips. Hunter Bolin fighting this off and broke it. Short time. He's got to put the leg in. That's a takedown. Takedown. Why not? Why not? He's got to keep his foot on the mat. He's got to keep that foot in. If he keeps his foot in, the time will still continue to elapse. This is not stalling. They're still going on. Hey, why not go to overtime? Why not?
For the third time tonight, it is sudden victory. And every time we went to the extra time, it has favored NC State. The late takedown by Hidley to force sudden victory.
Stepped over and put the leg in and covered the hip. We're in overtime. First point score wins. Doesn't matter how it comes to be a stall call. Anytime there's points scored in this sudden victory, the match is over. Trent Hidley still going. Both guys are pushing. Trent Hidley's on the hips. He's getting a lock around the rib cage. He's going to try to step over. Maybe he's going to lip arm. Lip arm and put the leg in again. He's going to pull the arm down. There's the takedown! Takedown! A little extra push on the head. Silence the crowd. Extracurriculars. Trent Hiley has silenced Cassell. We've got a dandy here. Trent Hiley, gut check performance. Give him a little grin. Point, raise the roof. This is college wrestling here. He locks around the waist, and then right as he's coming up, Trent Hiley says, I'm going to put forward. He uses his other hand to push the elbow up. Watch him push the elbow up with his left hand. He pushes it down, and then as the roll through, he covers the ankles, and that's the takedown. And then he pushed the head down.
Pat Popolizio at NC State inches a little bit closer as we go to 197. Isaac Trumbull ready to go. Trumbull leads the team in bonus point victories this year. Maybe the heaviest hits in all of college wrestling, taking on Andy Smith, the junior from nearby Christiansburg. What a moment for Smith as he gets ready to tackle the tall puzzle they call Isaac Trumbull. NC State now trailing 13-11. 2 weights to go, 97 in heavyweight.
Why? Now, fans, I hope you're entertained because this announcer right here sure is.
Andy Smith, 10-5 this season. Isaac Trumbull, 14-1. He's been a pinner. 6 falls this year, leads the team with 9 bonus point wins. And what's so ironic about that, when you watch Trumbull and even talking with Popolizio, you know, Isaac hears it a lot. He's never going to be the most offensive guys, yet he still has found a way to get the bonus points this year.
Because he's not going to fire off as many shots as his teammate Ryan Jack doesn't mean he's not being offensive. He's got to do little things to get to a point of creating his offense. The nerves that these wrestlers feel right now, because they both want to make a statement. They both want to say, my team needs me. Man, this is good stuff. This is just good stuff.
3 sudden victory wins for NC State tonight. 3 out of their 4 wins coming in extra session. And they are in it. Down 13-11. Virginia Tech trying to bring it home with Andy Smith and Hunter Katka at heavyweight.
What Trumbull is doing is he's clubbing with the left hand and forcing it in the underhook. And then he's looking to pinch or lock his hands right behind the back of the neck of Andy Smith. Now from there, he can either throw a headlock or just try to slide by. That's a rarity, seeing Trumbull taking a penetration shot.
What are the chances Trumbull stays at 197 over the next couple of years?
I was surprised it was at 97 this year. I thought he would build himself up, but for the team, he is much better suited for him to be at 97.
A couple of pretty good heavyweights for NC State with Treffin and Houghton. Trumbull sliding right in at 97, always following the leader of the team, Trent Hidley. And Trumbull very quietly this sophomore year has put up impressive numbers as this first period winds down inside 20 seconds to go.
And he's kind of just reaching for the right leg of Smith. Smith hasn't shown too much offense right here.
Trumbull able to pick up a lot of bonus point wins, 9 in all. You had the tournament in New Orleans, the Journeyman Collegiate Duels, a great tournament in the Big Easy, and that was just a revolving door at 197. He loses by a major decision to Michael Beard. Bernie Truax was pinned by Trumbull, and then Truax defeated Beard. I mean, it was just wild. That just talks about the parity at this weight collegiately across the country.
Like we said at 174, where there was a hesitation about phasing wrestling against Mackay because of his counter offense, same thing here with Isaac Trumbull. He's very good at his defense, heavy hips, and he can do what's also called a go behind as well. So Andy Smith is going to pick his shots, and he wants to wrestle him laterally, not straight ahead. You don't want to shoot straight ahead on Isaac Trumbull because he has heavy hips. And that's what Coach Papalizo was saying, Sean, and you mentioned, that he's not going to do a whole lot, but he's doing little things to try and work towards getting to his offense.
Looking for the high C that time. Smith trying to cut his way through. Now he swings around to the side. Has the head buried. Andy Smith.
Head on his shoulder.
Trumbull looked like he wanted to maybe get into a body lock, upper tie position, but Smith wisely slides out of that.
And that shot that Trumbull took was not the thing that he wants to do because Andy Smith almost had a go behind. Isaac Trumbull's position is staying right close and working for underhooks, snaps, snatch singles, but not penetration shots. We got short time here. We're going to see what happens here with Andy Smith. Is he going to go on bottom and underneath? You can see the coaches talking to each other.
They are discussing it right now.
They're saying, do we want to go underneath Isaac Trumbull, who is a hammer on top? Let's see. What are they going to tell him?
So we will find out what Smith decides. Nino Bonacorsi, one of 4 ranked wrestlers at 97. Michael Batista, and there's Andy Smith, currently ranked 26th. So, Rock, do you like this from the Virginia Tech corner? Smith saying, let's start down.
I am surprised, so much so that Isaac Trumbull was ready to go on his feet. He stood there and he was like, what? You want to go underneath me? And then you read the lips of Coach Papalizo said, keep him down.
Mat return number 1 with authority by Trumbull.
And this is what NC State does. They take pride on top wrestling. And they're doing a good job right now. Isaac Trumbull is tough on top. Long, keeps pressure forward. Little loose here. Good job by Andy Smith. And the crowd knows how important that was. No riding time advantage.
So Roby and Jared Hott knew their wrestler. They say, let's put him down. He can get out. And Andy Smith delivers.
He sure does. So Andy Smith knows he's in this match. Isaac Trumbull knows he cannot take these long shots that he's just not very strong at. But if he does, Andy Smith, that's a good shot. He just dropped down. You see, it wasn't a penetration. He just dropped down, and he's trying to cut the corner. Andy Smith is trying to stay on his hip. No takedown yet. No takedown. So he's got to come around. They're going to say, watch. They're going to say, watch the knee. But Andy Smith's in a good position right here. Andy Smith has got good hips right here. He's going to try and get behind the go behind. Did he get it? He got it. He got it. This could be it. This could be it. Andy Smith. He fought that off, Sean. Sean, it didn't look good. And I tell you, Cassell is starting to feel it. They know that this could seal the deal. Andy Smith could set Blacksburg, Christiansburg off. And here's the thing. Here it is. All he's got to do is just hold position. He's got heavy hips here. But look at Isaac Trumbull. Are you kidding? Isaac Trumbull trying to reach across. Nothing. Good defense. That's the match. Cassell has erupted. Smith, heavy underdog here. And here he is fighting it off, and he gets a go behind, drops to the ankles. and Cassell is exploded. What a great win by the young man. Andy Smith, Virginia Tech.
Seven o'clock Eastern could not have arrived soon enough throughout the course of the day. A record-setting crowd filtering their way inside Cassell Coliseum. Close to 6,000 people in attendance tonight. A new record breaking the old mark by over 800 people set back in 2015. Both coaches look very calm. Tony Roby on the right, Pat Papalizio on the left. Roby just watched his wrestler, Andy Smith, at 197, secure the win and put the Hokies in the driver's seat as the young fans enjoying every moment of this one as we bump up to the final weight. Heavyweight, Owen Treffin needs a fall for NC State. Hunter Katka, the redshirt sophomore, back off his redshirt season a year ago. He's won 6 in a row. Katka trying to bring it home in front of this record crowd tonight. Real quickly, Rock, you talk about stories. You go back to Andy Smith. He's been one of Roby's favorites the past couple of years. When he arrived at campus, he was working 30 hours a week delivering pizzas for Domino's, along with studying, going through his coursework, reporting for wrestling. He gave up the Domino's job the last couple of years, just did not have enough time. Reshaped his body, and now the starter for Virginia Tech, and he delivers so far to this point in his career, his most monumental win.
There's no doubt about that. That was a fantastic win. He was the underdog. Not many people expected, but it doesn't matter who's expected. All it takes is one person to believe, and that's believing in yourself, and Andy Smith sure did.
So we go to heavyweight. The stage set. Owen Treffin knows what he needs to do. He has been a bonus point getter this year for the Wolfpack out of Summerville, South Carolina. 13-3 this year, 9 bonus point wins. So he has the tenacity to pull off a big move, and that's what they need here, trailing by 5.
And I'm sure what the coaching staff said to Owen is, hey, wrestle your match. Just wrestle your match and let things come if they're available. But just go out there to win first. Hunter Katka is a big individual. Really solid.
Katka took advantage of a redshirt year last year. If you recall, Virginia Tech brought in the transfer Nathan Traxler from the West Coast. And Katka had a chance to work on some things during the redshirt year, but he is back. Remember, this is an NCAA qualifier in his freshman season back in 21. Won a match at Nationals, went 1-2. One of the most sought-after heavyweights in his recruiting class a few years ago.
And the coaching staff said he had to learn to wrestle heavyweight in college. Different than wrestling heavyweight in high school.
I remember watching an interview with Hunter Katka. I'm not sure if it was earlier this season or during his redshirt year, but he talked about the traditional order of a collegiate dual match, and he says, I love it when they start at 125. I want to bring it home, and he has an opportunity to do that here tonight.
Not everyone can say that they want the pressure on them. Good snatch attempt. Oh, good re-attack. Hunter Katka is going to try and bring the arm high, the leg high. He's going to try and keep it in the armpit. No takedown. Good defense here. He's got to watch it. He's got to keep his toe in. You see he's keeping his toe in. He's going to try and reach across. Little action call.
No score, 12 seconds remaining first period. One of the adjustments, or not really an adjustment, but one of the nuances when you look at Owen Treffin from last year to this season, his ability on his feet. That's why he's picking up so many bonus point wins. Spent a lot of time in the freestyle world this offseason, and boy, is it paying off so far this year.
Absolutely.
Treffin will start down, a concerned look for Papalizio.
I believe the misnomer is that you have to coach heavyweights differently. Yes, you do, but you still want to see if they can do the same things that other people can do.
Wait for my whistle. Okay?
So if they can't do it, then yes, you coach towards their body type, but don't say because you're 270 pounds, you just can't do this.
Treffin slowly working his way up. And he gets away 13 seconds into the period. And a 1-0 lead for Owen Treffin. On a night that saw NC State win 3 sudden victory matches. A night that witnessed the triumphant return of Bryce Indonian, where he puts up 24 in a headline match at 57. It comes down to this, and Virginia Tech with a 16-11 lead. And how many people were talking about Andy Smith when we woke up this morning?
Not many except for Andy Smith.
That's the beauty of the dual format with NCAA wrestling, right there.
They're still trying to close the gap, because with heavyweights you have to really pick your shots, but you want to be in a close distance, because if you shoot too far, the hips and the weight will come on your shoulders, and then it'll be hard to get to your feet. So they have to close the gap and then pick wisely. Shot by Treffin, but again, a little further out than what he wanted to be.
Let him go, fingers.
Short time, looks like we're going to end this period on the neutral position. And it'll be Katka's choice at the beginning of the third period.
Heavyweights in the conference. How about the youngster from Pitt, Dayton Pitzer? He has been dynamite. We'll have a couple of chances to watch him this year on Friday Night Duels. Treffin, 12th. Niesenbaum, 22nd of Duke, carrying on the legacy of solid Duke heavyweights. And then there is Hunter Katka. So Katka starts underneath. Treffin had no trouble getting out. Oh boy, Katka right on his tailbone. And a second time, Treffin returns him back.
Man, I think
that had to hurt. Katka gets away, and we're tied at 1.
Tied at 1 to end a really entertaining dual meet.
These two coaches really pushed their teams with the non-conference schedule. You see Treffin lean in on a shot, smothered by Katka. Virginia Tech beat Missouri. They beat Stanford. They lost to Cornell. Lost to Ohio State earlier. NC State perfect in their non-conference slate. 10-0. Wins against Nebraska, Illinois, Lehigh, a very good UNI team. And now on our first Friday night duel, the two favorites coming into the season, kicking off what should be a fun month ahead of ACC wrestling.
Indeed. 45 seconds. Let's see if someone's going to fire off an attack. Let's continue to pull and prod. Ooh, little underhook action there.
Let him go.
These guys are working hard here. And Sean, if they go to overtime, this will be the 5th overtime match?
4th.
4th.
And that's where we're going. Only appropriate with these two teams. Rock, what's this feel like?
Wow.
Not good, right?
Yeah, that is elevation.
What do you say, drama personified? How about elevation personified right there, partner?
Overtime, first point scores, wins. Doesn't matter how the points come. No one has left the arena.
There might be one heck of a party in downtown Blacksburg tonight. Students just got back on campus earlier this week. A good number of them here, part of this record-setting crowd tonight, close to 6,000 strong. Tied at 1. Katka trying to drive into his underhook. Still has the collar tie as well, gives a couple of tugs, drops into a leg, smothered effectively by Treffin, and it's Treffin who comes around the corner for 2. And Owen Treffin wins the final bout of the night. In OT, sudden victory. The two heavyweights. NC State raises their arm and win. But in the end, in the team battle, the victory to Virginia Tech. 16-14, a duel that lived up to all the pre-match hype.
We wrestled this match again. It was just as close with different people coming out on top. Really good job.
Takeaways from this one as we move forward the rest of January into Feb.
I liked what I saw about a freshman, but I also like what I saw with the veterans. Veterans savvy. These guys can go back and forth, and I'm telling you, it's just a start for a fantastic season in ACC Conference dual meets.
The last 10 championships in this conference have rolled through either Raleigh or Blacksburg, and it's Virginia Tech who fires the opening salvo tonight. For Rock Harrison, I'm Sean Kinney, saying so long from Cassell Coliseum. To watch this on replay, as well as other matches on ACC Network, download the ESPN app. This has been a presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports.